It's a very thin line.
It's an extremely
between
thin
like
line.
impressing people and showing, or if you fail, showing them that you're trying to do something and you're ruining their memory.
Tarek, Alameddine, welcome to the Cairo Food Week.
Thank you
And
for
the Gem
having
Talks, Go Up Value Cafe. You just arrived last night.
me. Yes.
I think everyone would like to know about your food journey. وانا بسميها food journey, not a cooking journey, because you're so immersed in foods as an experience, as produce, as cooking. But tell us كده about your career in food as a start.
Basically, I was, in a sense, a bad kid growing up. So I used to get into a lot of fights, a lot of problems. I was very bad at school.
ده in Beirut.
At the time, there was nothing called ADHD or dyslexic or, so I couldn't focus for long. And the issue was like my focus and how my brain works. But at the time, it was you're a bad student.
Yeah.
So growing up in school, it was like a disaster until I got to the age of 18, where I started discovering that I like to cook by force. It wasn't the school story of you standing on the kitchen. And looking
With
at
your
your mom
mother.
cooking. No, I didn't give
Yes,
two
we met
fucks.
your mother and we found
okay,
out
I
she
need to
didn't know.
behave. I need to watch my language. But I didn't care much about that. But then I had to live alone for a while because my parents used to live in between Beirut and the mountain, and that's
Okay.
where I started cooking. And then I came to them family and I told them like, oh, I want to cook. And they were like, yeah, this is one of his other crazy idea, because I wanted to become a pilot at some point. I didn't know what I want to do. Like, I want to do something. And then just like that, I did an internship in a restaurant in Beirut, and I loved it. I found myself, I don't have to behave. I can be creative, it's a bit chaotic, 16
It's
hours
loud.
shift. It's loud, it's like everything I like to do.
Yes.
And just like that, I applied to La Roche, did my university diploma.
Okay.
And then I went to Brazil, to Sao Paulo.
Oh, wow.
So at the time, I didn't know nothing about what's 50 best or what's the Michelin or what's these fancy things. So a chef that used to teach me, called Alfred Gaffner, he came to me. He's like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. He's like, after university, what's your plan? I was like, work in a hotel. He's like, what hotel? I was like, I don't know. I just want to cook. He's like, do you know what's 50 best? I was like, no. Do you know what's Michelin? I was like, no. And then he looked at me like, he's like, kid, you have something special. You have to work in good places. And then we started applying, me and him, to the 50 best restaurants every day after school.
So that was your list of options?
Yeah, like 1 to 50.
Okay.
Then two answered.
Apply.
Then two answers: Central in Peru and Dom in Sao Paulo.
Oh, wow.
And I picked Dom just because it's higher in the list than Central. I went to Brazil.
But that means more hours of work.
Yeah. I went to Sao Paulo. I was 20 years old, 21 years old. I don't speak Portuguese. I've never worked in a high-end kitchen in my life. I did 3 months there, and then it was tough.
Very tough, because it's not loud, it's not chaotic.
Yeah, but it taught me a lot, because like when I got there, I didn't speak the language, so I was given if you want to say, like, the worst jobs.
Yes.
And they look at me like, oh, you're coming from a fancy school, so you're not a hard work. So
yeah.
I paved my way eventually. Then I applied to the 50 again.
Okay.
And Noma answered. For the first time, they didn't answer. The second time, they told me, come do an internship after we come back from Japan. Okay. That was their first pop-up in Japan. So I said, yeah, I got my visa. I went to Copenhagen. A month and a half in, they called me. They were like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. Like, put me in service kitchen. And they were like, okay, but we want to hire you. So I thought they're going to hire
full-time.
me, like, something. And they said, like, a chef de partie. So I was like, me?
Oh, wow.
Like,
amazing.
And that was the roller coaster of 6 years until I became a sous chef. Then I left. And during my time at Noma, we were planning to do what I'm doing now at Bay House, but with Noma. So Renee came to Beirut.
Okay.
And in that time, I decided to leave Noma for 7 months. So I went to El Chibari in Spain, which is number 2, I think, now in the world, with Victor. And then I went to Blue Hill, with Dan Barber. He's the pioneer of farm to table
Okay.
for a bit, and then Egypt, and then
Sachi and
Sachi,
Kazuko.
Kazuko. Egypt
Yes.
was a bit it was weird because they were been contacting me since I was at Noma, and then I was like, no way, I'll move to Egypt. You know, like I know nothing. I've never been to Egypt. I don't know what's happening in Egypt. Then COVID came. First lockdown, Europe shut down. I went to Beirut. Then the second lockdown. Then we opened just for a month with the restriction. Then there was the second wave of COVID.
Okay.
So I went back to Beirut, and then they reached out from Baki Hospitality, and they were like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "In Lebanon." They were like, "Why don't you come for a few days? Egypt is open." So I was like, "Egypt is open, like."
Always. Egypt is always open.
So that was the most tempting thing. So I came to Egypt. Egypt was running.
COVID brought you back east.
Yeah. No, everywhere is closed except Dubai and Egypt. I came here, and in 3 days, like they gave me a tour. I saw the pyramids. I ate in the restaurant. I signed without taking my stuff from Copenhagen yet.
Okay.
And I moved to Egypt just like that.
Wow.
I went back to Beirut for less than a week. Then I moved my life to Egypt.
But now, after you left Egypt,
now back to Beirut.
Tell us, what are you doing in Beirut right now?
In Beirut, so I went back. The start was basically we did Buko, which is kind of a mid-scale restaurant that serves burgers. Funny enough, the only reason why we started with this is because that's how much money I have to do something like this. And when you leave such restaurants and such portfolios, in a way you're alone, because like.
The support system is not there.
Yeah, because you're a chef, all right, you're a good chef. You're known to a certain extent, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, like when you leave Noma, you're no one. You're an ex-Noma chef. When you leave X, you're ex-chef of that. But then suddenly you're alone. If you don't do something quickly, you'll be forgotten. And this is the trend of the world.
And you will forget as well.
Yeah. So we jumped on Buku. Buku was a massive success. We did, alhamdulillah, very, very, very well. And then we joined venture with Saeed Dahir and Samir Uhaysam, and Bay House came to life.
Okay. You mentioned that Noma brought you closer to your roots.
Definitely.
How did that happen? How did you get closer to Lebanese ingredients and Lebanese food when you were working in Noma?
The thing is, when growing up as chefs, even like a lot of still like chefs in the Middle East, they look towards the West, right? Like we were talking that there's no much chefs that came to the, and now it's this futar, and I saw a lot of chefs walking.
A lot of chefs are coming in now.
So so this is in a way, it's not sadly. But in a way, it's what Arabs have been doing. We always look شو عم بيصير بيوروب, what's happening in Spain, what's happening here, what's happening there.
And we look at success cases.
Yeah. So that I was one of them.
Yes.
So in my career, I didn't know how to make hummus until I was like had 10 years of experience in this business and the best kitchens in the world. Until it's like suddenly I want to learn how to do hummus. Because Renee asked me how to do hummus. I was like, I don't know. He looked at me like. He's like, you're Lebanese. I was like, yeah, but I'm not a Lebanese chef. He's like, yeah, you are a Lebanese chef.
So he challenged you to find out about your roots.
Because like my answer was like, I'm not a Lebanese chef, but technically you are a Lebanese chef. So, and then during the time at Noma, all the interesting stuff that I ever cooked and let Renee and the taste and the management team taste, they were super interested in everything I'm doing with my roots. And then for me, it was like, okay, you know, I have
getting
like,
the idea of it.
Yeah, this, okay, if they're interested, most of the people will be interested. And then I started moving to like every time I visit Lebanon, I like learn something, ask my mom, go to a small place, you know, and just like collect some info, go back to Noma, work like the dish we worked together on at Noma was the salariac shawarma, the vegetarian shawarma. So technically, one of the trips in Lebanon, I went and saw how they actually do the shawarma. You know,
and you
hadn't
I didn't know before that.
Zero clue.
And you were the Lebanese chef.
Exactly. And you're like, you know, like,
yeah.
Regardless what you do, you need to know some basics of your cuisine. Yes. But I didn't know these basics. Like now I'm confident that, you know, like I can cook like
Yes.
most of them, and I'm developing a style where like we're looking backwards to move forward, if you want to put it this
How
way.
much is your mom a research resource for you?
Oh, my mom gets so many calls from me, like especially when I'm trying to play around with something. Like for example, in the winter menu we're working towards, we have something, you know, mujaddara.
Yes, of course.
Okay, in Lebanon we
It's
blend
your
it.
koshari.
Yeah, but we blend it.
Yes.
We blend it into a mousse kind of
Yes.
texture, and then we
Okay.
plate it until like so. So the idea was we've been playing with lentils for the past 3 months,
Okay.
and everything we get to taste homey. It's delicious, but it's not for a restaurant. You know, it's not
Okay.
a restaurant of such an ambition. You know, we have big
Yes.
ambition with
Yes.
you know, like,
You wanted to be more fluff. You wanted to have
you know, like you
clout.
wanted to be
Yes.
like, because like for me the idea of a restaurant like Bay House is something you can never redo.
Yeah.
It's not a restaurant where you can go
Yes.
eat comfort food
Like
and
the transparent potatoes we had.
yeah. So you cannot like, it's the food, like even if you go to this frutar or all the great restaurants in the world, it's basically the food that you can never do at home.
Yes.
And that's why you go. They're challenging themselves.
But the flavors come from home.
Definitely.
Yes.
But in a way, there's two categories in my head in restaurants. So there's the restaurants where you go to eat, like to fill your stomach and have a delicious meal.
Yes.
And there's restaurants you go where you feed your brain and your stomach.
Yes, you indulge.
So
And your soul.
100%. But like all the food will come from the same source. You know,
Yes.
like so I called my mom, and then we had like a 30 minutes discussion about mujaddara and which lentils and all of that. And then later at night when I went and she was like, "What did you do?" Then I explained to her that I added hazelnuts and I added burnt butter to mujaddara, and then
Wow.
I added koji flour and all of that. And she looked at me and she's like, "I need to taste that." So there is like, she's, because like as I said, like nowadays nobody needs to reinvent the wheel. You know, like go back to the 2000s when Ferran Adria and Albert Adria created El Bulli and changed the texture of the world and shocked the world that you can make an olive but it's liquid and all of this stuff. Then Rene came with the movement of just going back to the roots. I think now what we have is so saturated from all the techniques and everything. We just have to look like every Arab has to look in their backyard and in their mom's cookbook
Kitchen. Yeah.
and kitchen and be like, okay, how can we use this flavor to move forward?
Yeah. But what are the challenges here? Because you're coming with super techniques, right? Working with local ingredients that have different textures, different spice levels, flavors. There's a challenge there of trying to meet this exquisite level of cooking.
Yeah, there is challenge is big, but the main challenge is that you're feeding somebody something they already know
Okay.
and they have memory of.
Yes.
You know, like you're not like, and let's say in Bay House,
It's tricky. It's extremely
80%
tricky.
of our guests are locals.
Yes.
And so the biggest challenge is when you want to tell them that this is something, you have to be like, you know, you like, you aced it. You know, you can't give him a smoked hummus that's not delicious and tell him this smoked hummus. Then he's gonna look at you and be like, why did you ruin the hummus? But if you do it in a good way, they're gonna be like, oh, you bastard, you took the hummus and did that. You know, it's a very thin line
It's an extremely
between
thin
like,
line.
you know, impressing people and showing, or if you fail, showing them that you're trying to do something and you're ruining their memory.
And where are you originally from in Lebanon?
And I'm from the mountains, facing
Okay.
Beirut, just facing the city.
Okay, and they're famous for, because the landscape is huge. Although Lebanon is very small,
Yeah.
the agricultural landscape is really special. There are so
So-
many things,
And food
every
changes.
side.
For such a tiny country, يعني إذا بتاخدي قياس القاهرة, I think Qahira is probably 10 times the size of Lebanon.
The whole of Lebanon.
But the food
there's so much
changes a lot.
seasonality,
Yeah.
and there's so much. This side of the mountain grow this, and this side of the mountain grow this. So in your area, what are the most interesting crops?
But in my area, the most interesting things are the wild stuff, because like they're all over Lebanon. But in our community, foraging or picking wild herbs and greens from the wild is a delicacy.
Okay.
So whenever you pick wild asparagus,
Okay.
so although we eat them with only eggs, right? We don't eat we don't make crazy recipes about them.
Yes.
But like once they're in the season, every household is cooking eggs and
having.
wild asparagus.
Okay.
You know, and it's a celebration. So it's like whenever it's in the season, everyone is so proud of it. So we forge a lot, we eat a lot. Like our tabbouleh changes with sillet whenever the sillet is in the season, but the wild one. So instead of parsley, it goes to sillet.
So your menu changes at Bay House according to the seasonality?
At home, it does change actually, and Bay House actually. So we're just because the restaurant is 9 months old now. I think 8 or 9 months. So we just finished our winter menu.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do this for at least the first year and the coming
finish
year.
Developing the winter menu. Yeah. So it will launch still.
Yeah, I think mid October will be the day.
Okay, exciting.
But what's cool that because like now realistically we cannot do 4 seasons. Like we're focusing now on opening for lunch because we haven't been open for lunch. We have a nice menu, very simple for lunch. But like our focus is our ambition, hopefully, like where we get is to have a 4 seasons menu.
Okay.
But it's gonna take some time until we're more established. We understand the seasons very well.
And you have to work with a lot of producers and foragers. How does this work out for you? Do you have certain producers for certain things?
We do
from different parts of Lebanon?
Yeah, we do. We have we have Walid Miraye, where you've been.
Yes.
That grows everything very special for us. Like for example, now we were using beetroots. We're using 2 varieties.
Okay.
So we sat down with Walid and we gave them the exact size we want. So he's gonna pull them at this age, this size, this sweetness. So we work very closely with him. We're working with Ferme Saint Jacques for all the ducks. So even the ducks and the foie gras we're using for this season is 100% Lebanese.
So would you say that Bay House is 100% Lebanese ingredients?
You cannot be 100%. Let's be realistic. Yes. All the flour we're getting is from Ukraine. You know, like the sugar is not Lebanese.
Okay. Are the main ingredients Lebanese?
We try to use as much as possible. Like as much as possible, but there's a lot of things that we cannot do, like kombu. Like we use a lot of seaweed, but the seaweed comes from Japan. Yes. You know, so we're trying a lot. Like we don't want to use at least the main ingredient in every dish has to be local, or has a local story, or has an inspo behind it.
When you mentioned stories, I remember you said that every dish you develop is a love story.
Definitely.
So tell us about the dish and the story behind it, and the love story behind it.
I mean,
one of your dishes.
I'm gonna tell you about a dish that we didn't release yet.
Okay.
So basically, you know that we had a hyperinflation in Lebanon, and our money lost its value big time. You used to have these nice coins.
Okay.
So 250 lira was a copper one, kind of. So the idea was I want to do a dish that looks like it. So we did a 3D mold and we did like stencils. We've been working on it for a while, and then we finished with the mold.
Okay.
And then we did the foie gras dish in this mold, and then we paint spray it with like copper and a bit of gold. So the whole idea is you get a plate with the 250 lira in it, like it's exactly the same. And when you cut it, there's the foie gras and there's a layer of quince and figs. So for me, this dish is like basically, it was a fun joke that lira رجعت تحكي.
لا, extremely symbolic. That the foie gras is 250 coin.
It's the cheapest. It's a very expensive ingredient in a very small. And the
makes
fun
you
part,
really think it's political.
And the fun part انه I tell it as a joke انه Bay House خلى الليرة ترجع تحكي. You know, like you're gonna pay premium على 250 ليرة.
Yeah.
So yeah, we try to, you know, like, cause like if you want to create a good dish, you know, in a way, funny way, the internet is full of good dishes. Yeah, you can just Google foie gras and get like million recipes of foie gras and just like plate it in a way. But we try to make it very personal.
Yeah.
You know, like I try to make it like a super. I always tell Reem, if my sister, if you see a dish that doesn't look like, if you see it in the beginning and you don't say like, oh, هيدا صحن عمله طارق, then just tell me it's not good.
Okay. Yeah, from meeting Reem last month and seeing your family, I noticed that cooking, work, family, عندك كله, it all comes together. It's all put
it's
together.
All
and
like
your fiance,
a big blender.
all goes together. How does that work?
So basically, Reem is the reason we became
Reem is your sister?
yeah, she's my
It's your
sister.
older sister.
And at the time when I started to get like some attention and like planned to do my own restaurant, Reem was the person I went to be like to help me with everything. And Reem, till she's my business partner, she handles everything related to the offices, back office, structure of the company, how can we make money, costing, and everything. So Reem became a crucial part of the journey. You know, like she's my backbone, and personal and professional.
Yeah.
As for my mom, you know, like because we did Mtari, we did a brand that sells za'atar
Okay.
that my mom does. Plus, my mom is the conversation. Like for me, she's the dictionary of the mountain cuisine. That's where I go to get like flavors. What is this spice? How do you use it? Can we cook together? Can we do that or this? So it all end up being something which I think is, I'm very lucky that I have this formula where you have like everyone involved in your life, involved in your success.
Yes. And it affects your restaurant.
Definitely, definitely, because
The
you feel
outcome.
the energy. You visited.
Yes,
You feel
yes.
like the, you know, like if one, like if we're doing something, everyone is so excited about it. Everyone knows about. Even my fiance, she's like super involved. So
Yes.
so whenever we're creating a dish, the whole family knows about it. So at night,
Because everyone's trying it out.
yeah. So if there's a family lunch or just casually sitting at night, the main talk will be the dish and the restaurant. So it's not like they're interested in, let's say, for example, in art, and I'm a cook, and we're talking about a mix between art and cooking. We're just like purely talking food.
Okay. But beyond the food, using your platforms like the restaurant or any other platform that because you travel a lot and you have talks, how do you try to showcase Lebanon's resilience? And there's something definitely special about Lebanon, especially Beirut, and the vibes of it's such a survival kind of place, a happy place, always back on their feet, always resilient. How do you showcase this on your platforms like the restaurant, for example?
Like Beirut is a crazy place. Lebanese are crazy.
Yeah.
Let's. I'll give you an example.
But crazy good.
Yeah, crazy in all sense.
Yes.
So you've been to Bay House. You
Yes.
saw the buildings. The buildings were destroyed by the Beirut explosion. Not so far ago. Like it was 5 years ago, I think, 4 years ago. And then you have somebody like Saeed Daher, who has businesses all over the Middle East, comes back, gets the land, renovated with a massive investment that he could have done it anywhere in the world.
صح.
And join forces with us and the rest of the team in Bay House to make something we're proud of. This you don't see in every city.
It's true.
You don't see anywhere else, you know, like just from being destroyed to one of the biggest, nicest restaurants, and just like this.
Yes.
So we were born and raised for this, you know, like we love it. We love our country. The country I've been in so much shit, like for the past 6-7 years. I think no, not even that, since the 40s. So, but we get used to it. Like it doesn't stop us. But in a way, it slows us a bit because we only think for tomorrow. We don't plan a year. So that's why you go to Beirut, you see this crazy energy. Saturday, everyone is doing something, and you know,
because you live for the moment.
Because everyone is like worried that we might not get more than tomorrow.
But this huge investment shows that you want to be there and you want to stay.
A kid, we want to, and that's the thing. Like the whole project was created to have something of like rebuilding of or reviving of the city, and something we can actually be proud of, like a product from Lebanon, because you know we're very famous for exporting products.
Yes.
So everyone starts a restaurant in Lebanon, it does well, they spread it in the Middle East. For us, we just want to be in Lebanon, and we want to grow very well. We want to improve. We want to lead a movement, if you want to say.
And bring people to Lebanon, not the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to go. We just like literally want to bring people in.
I have to ask you this question. One last question.
Tell me.
If Beirut was a dish, one dish, what dish would it be and why?
If Beirut would be one
I'm
dish.
not saying Lebanon. بس Beirut.
Specifically.
عشان صعب Lebanon.
I would say Beirut بيكون صحن حمص. يعني I like to eat in a weird way. Actually, what أروح on a Lebanese restaurant, I hate to change my plate
Okay.
because I love zoom التبولة.
Uh,
So I would say it will be hummus عليه شوي شاورما لحمة
okay.
وزوم التبولة حواليه.
Okay. وبتقعد تزود في نفس الطبق. So
أيوة.
all the flavors
And then
keep.
you eat with the bread, you get زوم التبولة الحمص والشاورما.
Okay. I love it. بالهنا والشفا.
Thank you. جعت الله.
Thank you, Tarek.
Thank you.
Thank you so
for
much.
having me. Pleasure seeing you again in
أيوة.
Egypt.
I'm so happy to have you here.
حبيبتي. Thank you.